Sketching to understand tonal values. This tonal sketch is based on a painting by early 20th century Australian landscape painter Arthur Streeton. Big ideas to learn are as follows: working from whole to part, contrast principle to direct focus, and at the end, top 3 takeaways from the sketch for application in watercolor. My next demonstration will reveal applications of key learnings from tonal sketch to watercolor interpretations. Big shapes are roughly placed on the rectangular frame presented by the paper. I was not going to use up the entire sheet. Big shapes and their interrelationships in terms of position and relative scale are crucial for a good drawing. Do not start filling up shapes with shades and shadows till a convincing skeletal structure is firmly established. Outline sketch at this stage should be light, hence easily erasable and modifiable. Like watercolors, I proceeded to sketch from top to bottom. The background wooded forest with some tall trees are first to be filled out with parallel strokes. Since some of the branches of the tall trees are very thin, they are hardly marked on paper and sometimes given a total miss. The sky is the brightest part of the whole sketch, so very thin branches against such bright light will make them invisible to the observer. The whole point of doing sketches is to have a feel for the correct tone and build a strong foundation for watercolors and other medium of painting. If you wish to get full-length videos of watercolors, sketches and much more, you may consider supporting me on my Patreon channel for a monthly pledge. Link is in the description box below. The principle of contrast is used to keep the focus of the painting on the tent placed centrally. The sheen on the tent is in the highest contrast with the background. It was strategically done to keep the eyes of the observer rest peacefully there. It helps to keep all other things at relatively lower contrast values. The rustic pathway led to the tent where maximum contrast is strategically deployed. Dark background forms an ideal foil for creating some smokes. The log of wood is a very interesting artistic tool deployed by the artist. It goes really well with the name of the painting, Surveyor. The foreground, as always, should not have high contrast objects. It is imperative to keep things here loose, sketchy, out of focus and of low contrast. Subtle folds on the tent is lightly delineated. The vacant blank white tent is boring, hence little punctuations with lines elevate the interest. Before I end, here are my top 3 lessons that I learned from this value sketch. At number 3, the sky, although should be light, should have some relatively dark clouds for white smoke to appear prominent. At number 2, the trees framing the composition at either side should be less prominent. And at number 1, the sliver of highlights here and there cannot be done by negative painting. Those are too small an area to leave paper white. Using masking pen or fluid will achieve not so good result. The best alternative is to use white gouache. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. Please subscribe and like, and leave comments below if you have any questions.